Under an extremely tight budget but want to pick up a great 3x3 speed cube? Here is our shortlist of the best budget speed cubes under $10 US. Firstly, we have the legendary Moyu RS3M 2020. The RS3M 2020 boasts a dual adjustment screw spring system, frosted stickerless plastic, and weak to moderate strength magnets. The RS3M 2020 is the main of many speed cubers due to the near flagship level performance when it comes to corner cutting, pops, and speed. This cube is perfect for cubers who prefer a fast and light feel and have a light turning style. If the RS3M is too fast for you, it can be slowed down with both its adjustment system in the core and controllable lubricants such as Cosmos and Nebula. If you like a stronger magnetic feel, you can also grab this cheap magnetic kit where you can add a few extra magnets to the pieces in just a few minutes. At only $8.95, this puzzle has become extremely popular with enthusiasts as an easy entry-level recommendation that has exceptional performance, especially when complemented with proper lubrication and setup, which we'll touch on later on in this video. The Mofang Jiaoshi Meilong M 3x3 is also an extremely cost-effective 3x3 at only $6.95. The Meilong boasts factory-installed magnets and a frosted finish similar to the RS3M 2020, but with a different piece design and the omission of a dual adjustment system. The piece design is also slightly different, resulting in a maybe more slightly crunchy, slightly different feel paired with moderate strength magnets to assist with stability and control. QY MS Magnetic 3x3, or formerly Qiyi, is Qiyi or QY's budget offering with the same technical features as the Meilong M 3x3, but with a glossy plastic finish instead. The puzzle has moderate strength magnets and arguably less corner cutting ability at reasonable tensions when compared to the RS3M 2020 and the Mofang Jiaoshi Meilong M 3x3s. However, it does offer a different turning feel that may appeal to different cubers if the Meilong M and the RS3M 2020 isn't to your liking, with a more blocky and clacky feel in comparison. The YuXin Little Magic M 3x3 is an updated version of the widely popular YuXin Little Magic 3x3, a popular budget non-magnetic speed cube that has similar features to the Qiyi MS and the Meilong M, but instead has primary internals and a very different piece design, along with slightly less sharper edges in comparison. It has a more muted turning feel and turning sound, and is much more buttery and less clacky in comparison to the MS 3x3. I'd also like to take a second to talk about a slightly different puzzle, with this puzzle coming in at only 50mm in edge-to-edge length in comparison to its 56mm brethren, which is the standard size. The YJ Z-Long Mini Magnetic 3x3 is 6mm smaller than the standard 55.5 to 56mm size, and it makes for a great puzzle to throw into a backpack when traveling, and a full-size cube is not essential. The cube is quite dry and sandy feeling out of the box, but with some tensioning and lubrication, it performs quite nicely for a cube of this size and price. A slightly lesser popular speed cube under $10 that has a very distinct visual aesthetic and feel is the Diansheng Magnetic 3x3. I can only describe this puzzle as very light and clacky, even when lubricated, and it has a very unique piece design. Its clacky and light feel might be attributed to what feels to be a thinner plastic used on this puzzle, but its performance is reasonable, so if you're looking for something completely different at only $7.95, it could be worth grabbing this magnetic Diansheng 3x3. Certainly is different in turning feel and turning sound to everything else on this list. Now, with all these puzzles, we heavily recommend adding some form of SpeedCube lubricant to them to get the most out of the performance. These SpeedCubes come with little to no factory lubricant out of the box, leading to an arguably unpleasant dry feel, which can be easily remedied with some lubricant. For instance, when setting up the Moyu RS3M 2020, I like to drop in some Martian to get rid of its sandy turning feel, smoothing it out, and use some thicker lubricant like Nebula on the springs to get rid of that nasty spring noise that some models like the RS3M have. You can check out our full video on SpeedCube lubricant here, but a small bottle like Martian will do your puzzles wonders in the long run and allow you to lubricate more cubes in the future. Don't want to go through the hassle of lubricating and setting up a SpeedCube yourself? Our professional setup team can take care of that for you with a basic SpeedCube lubricant add-on to these puzzles, or perhaps maybe one of our premium options such as Cosmic and Supernova. You can learn more about that in the card above or at the link in the description. Something that I made sure of is that all of of these speed cubes on this list are magnetized, and for good reason. Magnets help you align the turns of the speed cube, stopping you from overshooting and overall helping with the stability of a puzzle. Pretty much all flagship cubes nowadays have magnets, and we heavily advise spending the extra few dollars, even at the sub 10 price point, to grab a magnetic speed cube. Perhaps a few years ago it might have been advisable to purchase a non-magnetic cube, but especially coming into the 2020s, magnetic cubes are certainly the way to go. And before we go on to some honorable mentions slightly above the $10 price point, a quick warning of build quality. With the lower priced speed cubes, these puzzles have to save on costs in one form or another, meaning that quality control or quality of materials or something else from the manufacturer may be of a lower quality. That is not to say that these puzzles here won't perform well, just that there are lower costs going into the creation of these puzzles just in general to bring you that lower price point. That being said, if you have received a defective puzzle, meaning that the plastic or hardware itself is damaged, do send us an email at service@speedcubeshop.com and we'll get that sorted for you right quick. One thing that I did notice on the Meilong M is that the logo sticker has gotten smaller. I'm pretty sure a couple years ago it was a bit larger, but now it's like comically tiny. Now onto a couple honorable mentions a bit above the $10 mark if you have a couple extra dollars to spend on a speed cube. The Monster Go EDU is GAN's budget offering under the Monster Go sub-brand, which has a very distinct clacky feel, almost wet sounding in turning, and it's also quite a fast option, which could be an alternative to the RS3M if you wanted just a different turning feel, albeit without the dual adjustment system and only has a screw and spring. And finally, the Moyu RS3M 2021 maglev, featuring the same mechanism as the RS3M 2020. The 2021 maglev version features magnets instead of springs that are found underneath the 6 screws in the core, consisting of 2 repelling magnets to reduce any friction that may be found from the springs. This makes for a super extra fast turning feel out of the box, with the same dry feeling as the RS3M 2020 out of the box. For some, this cube may be too fast as well, so lubricant like Nebula or Cosmos will work wonders in this cube, whilst for myself I added a bit of Martian to the cube to smooth it out and get rid of the sandy feeling as soon as possible. The cube features the same dual adjustment system as the RS3M 2020, which is great and is definitely a high performer. So if you're looking to get the RS3M 2020 but don't want to have to deal with the spring noise, the 2021 maglev may be the option for you for just a few dollars extra. Alright, I hope you found those recommendations helpful. If you have any great 3x3 budget picks, do leave them in the comments below as we'd love to hear from you. Hit like and get subscribed, and you can pick up any of the puzzles and lubricants mentioned at SpeedCubeShop.com. We'll have that linked for you in the description and the card above. If you want to learn more about any of these specific puzzles, you can check out our reviews playlist here and blog posts on these puzzles in the link in the description too. Thanks for watching.